Whoops. Hang on. Checking the audio to make sure it's working the way it's supposed to be working, like usual. And then we go to visit channel. We look here. Audio good? Visit channel. We look here. Audio good? Audio's good. Excellent. And then now, I just gotta send this over to the loyal fan base like I usually do. So, affirmative. Send this over to Peyton directly. And then over to good old Matt. And then over to the Astral 2 Doot. And I've had this open so I can read the comments on the side and do my audio checks if I'm worried things aren't going well. So my voice is a little better today. I might have a slight cold, but nothing that's like life-threatening. Well, a cold wouldn't be life-threatening now, would it? Anyways, Turnabout Forsaken, continuing my favorite case in the franchise by a large margin. I have the guide on the side here. Okay. Let's go. Let's do it. Okay, first though, hang on. Let's go ahead and reload the save file. April 5th. 5:58 p.m. High Prosecutor's Office. Room 1202. Kay! She's not here either. Where are you? Knockety knock. Special visitor. Fender! Whoa. Talk about an unhappy face. Everything okay, big guy? You won't earn yourself too many Myras looking like that. What are you doing here? Has something happened? Has something happened, he asks. I'll say. It's been all over the news. A murder in the committee chamber? I'd call that a happening, all right. And, you know, with your hearing today, I thought... Well, I couldn't help but wonder if you were involved. They're reporting it on the news already? Heck yeah, a dead lawyer, a young woman on the run, they're lapping it up. It's crazy stuff, but compelling too, I gotta admit. So, you gonna give me the lowdown or what? Well, actually... Whoa! Maybe warn a guy before blowing his mind next time. Things even crazier than I thought. This isn't a joke, Fender. Kay's out there somewhere, all alone without her memory. Not to mention being a suspect in a murder. It definitely doesn't make things any easier. Where the heck could she have gone to? You sure she doesn't remember Zip? I thought she might have come here, but... No luck, huh? Can't say I'm surprised. Sounds like she thinks she's done you wrong. She wouldn't want to cause you even more trouble by rocking up on your doorstep. You think I don't know that? But I'm out of places to look. Hey, take a chill pill, compadre. This isn't like you. You wound up tighter than a clockwork monkey. Which isn't a bad thing, necessarily. After all, it's got even you running from pillar to post looking to save another innocent from jail. Acting like the attorney I know you were born to be. Look, Fender. I may have given up my badge earlier, but that doesn't mean I've decided to become an attorney. However, Kay isn't just some suspect in a murder to me. She's somebody I've come to know very well, even if we've only been acquainted for a short while. And she never harm a fly, let alone another person. Blow my mind twice in 5 minutes, why don't you? Kid's lucky to have you in her corner, champ. Hope you don't mind me saying this, but it's quite the bond that sprung up between the two of you. Enough to give me and your old man a run for its money, even. It's nothing like that, really. She just likes to involve herself in my affairs. You can say that again. From what I've seen, she likes to charge into things and holds no barred. But she's done you some good, I can tell. You two make a great team, you know? Can't say I'm not a little jealous, seeing as, well, my own partner's not around. Anyway, you need to track her down. Connections like that don't grow on trees. I should know. Alright, how about this for a plan? You're fresh out of ideas about where she could be, and you can't just walk the streets shouting her name. So, why not go back to the source? Look into how she lost her memory in the first place. You might just turn up some clues that'll help narrow things down. Well, that's not a bad idea. Based on what she told us, it sounds like it all started at the big building. Then, that's where we're headed. Next up, the big time. Maybe you can give your face the good news on the way. Kay won't come frolicking back into the fold in the first thing if she sees you scowling like that. Very funny. Fender truly is a force of nature all on his own. April 5th, 6:42 p.m. Big building. Viewing platform. The sun sure set quickly. Not even a murder on the premises could make this place close its doors. Gotta chase that last dollar, huh? There's hardly anybody around, though. Guess we got the whole place to ourselves. The first step towards proving Kay's innocence is to figure out how she lost her memory. Earth to Miles, we got some sleuthing to do. This rooftop paradise is all ours, so let's focus up and do what we're good at for Kay, alright? Do what we're good at, huh? I suppose I should be grateful there's at least something we can do. Begin investigation. Big building viewing platform. So the first thing we gotta do is speak to Needler and Hertz. Mr. Edgeworth, we meet again. What are you two doing up here? Well, seeing as we came all this way, we thought we might as well enjoy some cotton candy.
What the heck are you doing here? Looking to get yourself even more hot water?
You needn't worry about me, Dr. Hertz. I'll be just fine.
Whatever you say, Mr. Soon-to-be ex-prosecutor, turned ex-prosecutor. Saw that coming a mile off.
Wait, what? You got fired? As I said, you needn't concern yourself with my affairs. If you say so. So, how's Kay doing? Uh-oh. Did something happen? Maybe I can help. How about an injection? No injections, thank you. Unfortunately, a jab a day does not keep the world's troubles at bay. Yeah, I did get kinda chilly, huh? Come on, let's head home. Alright then, Mr. Edgeworth. Catch you again soon. Next, okay, then we examine the cherry tree to the left. Ah, shit, you're right. Wait, no, you're right. No, fuck, wait, he's right. Okay. He's right. I got so, like, into the heat of the moment, I forgot to do that. Here, you know what? Also a good time for you to grab a drink of water. Just really quickly. And you know what? Here, I'll tell you what. Pull it up on my laptop so I don't have to constantly keep switching tabs between, like, the guide and stuff. Okay, so I'm looking for the exact thing here. So it was right there. Okay, 1 second. Okay. I'm back. Let me just go ahead and pull it up on my laptop here. Just make things a little easier on myself. Go over to my pins. Okay. I guess I'll do Callisto's this time. Prosecutor's office, 8:42 p.m. Something's missing. What are you doing holding your... They were annoying me. You shouldn't be here. And yet here I am. You've been staring at this for hours. I'm investigating. No, you're trying to force the answer. What does that mean? This one, huh? It's here because it bothers you. There. That look. Wait. That changes everything. You knew! Maybe. Why are you helping me? Because solving it for you would be boring. If you lose this case, Peyton, you know what happens, right? Well, yeah, I mean, no, You're leaving already? If I stay any longer, I might accidentally become helpful. Oh, you'll have a taste soon enough, though. Okay, there. Warm-up done! It's funny. I haven't voiced Callisto in such a long time, now that I think about it. It's kind of funny that I'll bring it up, because we're actually going to find some ties to the smuggling ring all the way back from the first game here. I mean, obviously with Francisca here, because this is something I actually had brought up with Matt in the chat room. Francisca's here. Not in the chat room, Peyton. Not in the chat room. This is a public stream, man. We'll save that for DMs. Anyways, what was I saying? Yeah, so Franny's here, but remember, Francisco's working with Interpol on the smuggling ring case. So, sorry. No, it's no worries. I mean, to be fair, bro, to be fair, I know you well enough. I just don't want any randos coming in here and getting the wrong idea. Anyways, so what was I doing? That's right. Yeah, so it is funny, though, that you brought up Callisto, though, because this case actually does have some ties back to the smuggling ring from the first game. Because Francisca's here, and Francisca's been investigating the smuggling ring, and her traces led her to the committee. Which, by the way, that's going to be our ticket out of this, for the record. I won't spoil why or how, but that's going to be our ticket out of this. It's a pretty sizable cherry tree. Its flowers are just the cusp. It's a pretty sizable cherry tree. Its flowers are just on the cusp of full bloom. According to what Kay told us, she was standing beneath this tree until she was pushed and fell. Okay. Next, we speak with Fender if I'd like. I don't really need to do that. Okay, the railing next to the tree is next. So the person in the raincoat that Kay saw supposedly approached her from the direction of the concession stand, which would suggest that she was pushed over this railing here. The railing is chest high. She tried really hard to go tumbling over the edge of it. Everything looks sturdy enough, too. That is something that does beg the question, though. How would Kay survive a 50-story fall? That just doesn't seem very plausible. Examine the garden and its statues. The beak and wings of a bird, and the body of a lion. I guess these statues are meant to guard the peace of this little rooftop haven. Peyton versus Excelsius when he was exposed. Oh, you'll see about that. I have to say, they're incredibly detailed, almost frighteningly so. Instead of feeling welcomed, I wonder how many people have been scared off by these instead. Okay, so I've done... Oh! Eek! Hi. Kay. Don't mind me. I'm just lying in wait. That would make you a criminal, Kay. Perhaps you mean to say you're laying low. Oh, yeah. That. Oh, yeah. Nevertheless, I doubt people will look kindly on a suspect haunting the site of a supposed crime. Surely you understand that even in your current state. On top of which, while you've been playing hide-and-go-seek, I've been worried sick and frantically trying to find you. Are you mad at me? Of course I am. Now, what were you thinking coming back here? Did you think your amnesia would excuse your recklessness? No! I came to try and help you get your badge back. What? I thought if I could get my memory back, I might be able to remember killing that poor woman. I thought if I came back to where I lost my memory, maybe I could... Huh? There's one thing you haven't lost, you know. Your ability to surpass my expectations at every turn. I couldn't be more certain now that you're the Kay I know so very well. However, I don't appreciate you being so reckless. Do you hear me? I'm sorry. Seriously, Miles, you're killing me here. You're banking good guy points and you went and blew... Blah. You were banking good guy points and then you went and blew it by blowing your top. Good to see you, kiddo. I'm glad to see you're safe. Come on, bring it in. Okay. That's the spirit. Not now, Fenda. Yeesh. I'm just trying to lighten the mood, man.
Live news now from the big building where a shocking murder took place earlier today. Police continue their hunt for a young woman known to have been present at the scene. She's considered the prime suspect, and police say no effort is being spared in trying to track her down.
Oh, mama. They're not messing around, huh? Well, team, what's the plan? Looks like the clock's ticking down and fast. Indeed. It's only a matter of time before they find us. Alright, first things first. Okay, you're sticking with us from now on. Capiche? But I caused you so much trouble already. You can hardly make things worse for me at this point. Mr. Edgeworth. And then it's settled. We're in this together like the Three Musketeers. Hang on. Oh, I thought I was gonna sneeze there. Ow! Oh, I hate it when that happens. Don't you just hate what happens when you feel like you're gonna sneeze and it just, nope, and then it just stings? Don't you hate that? Oh, I hate that, dude. Gonna do a quick audio check here. Oh, I hate that, dude. Gonna do a quick audio check here. Okay, audio's good. Then it's settled. We're in this together like the Three Musketeers. Miles here will be in charge of proving Kay innocent. And I will. You can believe me on that. So I'm gonna need you to do everything you can to help him with his investigating. Alright, Kay? Yes, of course. Great. Now we gotta move quick. Can't be getting bagged by the boys in blue before we've even started. You two may not have any more to lose, but your Uncle Eddie sure does. End of the game. No, he doesn't. Shut up. I've already played the game, by the way. I already literally know everything that's happened. Also, please no spoilers in the chat because I have two buddies in here that I don't want shit to get spoiled by. So please don't spoil shit. It's not true. Miles does not die by the end of this game. He doesn't, but no spoilers, please. Gregory would never forgive me if I got the family office shut down. Thank you, Fender. I sure owe you more than I'll ever really know. But did you already finish it? Funny, I've already finished it. Edgeworth does not die. I've already seen this. Sorry, Quint. No, it's fine. It's fine. Hang on. You know what? I'm just gonna have the ban button at the ready in case this guy... I mean, it's pretty much obvious it's not real. But I still don't want things to be spoiled, though. It's like... I don't want anyone out there running their trap and potentially saying something and ruining my stream of this case. So just try not to say anything, joking or otherwise, okay? I'll be fair to you in that. I will be fair to you in that way, but just please try to refrain from running your mouth. All right. So now, after we examine the statues, we move to the center of the area, we speak with Kay. I hope I've been help to you. I need to slow down my reading, though. I hope I've been of help to you so far. I came back here because I thought it might jog my memory. How about we go over what you remember one more time? Okay. I was standing under the tree, sheltering from the rain. Then I saw a person in a red raincoat. And then they pushed me. Can you remember anything specific about the person in the red raincoat? I'm sorry. I just can't remember anything. But, well, there is one thing. I could see the moon over the shoulder as they came closer and closer. The moon? Yeah, it's all very fuzzy, but it was in the exact same place as it is right now, floating up there above the cherry blossoms. So the moon was visible over the mysterious figure's shoulder. That's new information. I should keep it in mind. I keep feeling like there's something just on the edge of my memory. There is. It could be the clue we need. All right, just let it float to the top of your mind and say whatever comes to your thoughts. All right. I'm seeing... It's faint, but... I'm seeing a small restaurant. Just a counter and some seats, and there's this incredible smell. Beautiful golden soup. It's not too thick, and it tastes just right. It's filled with delicious noodles. They're firm, but not too firm. Well... Miles, I don't think this is the clue we're looking for. And that's when the thought crossed my mind. I'm gonna order another bowl. A captivating memory, but sadly one that has nothing to do with the case. Yeah, sorry, Edgy Man. That's, kind of speaking the obvious there. You used to say you were the second great thief Yatagarasu. A noble outlaw dedicated to stealing the truth. Do you really not remember any of that? Oh, I think you're right. I was a noble. Not a noble, Kay. A noble outlaw. Still, I suppose you got halfway there. Okay, so after that, then we speak with Kay. Logic, the moon, plus railing. Thinking back over what Kay has said, the person in the raincoat approached her from the direction of the concession stand, which implies that she was pushed over the railing on the side of the opposite stand. She also said she could see the moon over this person's shoulder. But when we checked just now, the moon was in a different location than expected. Yet Kay claims it's currently in the same spot as the sky on the night of the incident. This throws the positions of the moon and the person in the raincoat out of alignment with her story. I think her memories may have become confused somehow. What's more, if she really had been pushed over that railing, she would have never survived the fall. Therefore, I must conclude she may not have fallen where she thought she did. Okay. Connect these two. You may have fallen, Kay, but it couldn't have been over the railing. Because if you had, you wouldn't be alive now to tell the tale. But I definitely remember standing under that tree, though. If I was pushed, the only way I could have fallen is over that railing. Isn't it? Well, not unless the ground opened up and swallowed you whole. If the ground can just open up like that? How? My bad. Not a joking matter. Sorry, kiddo. But it may also be closer to the truth than you might think, Fender. Let's take another look at the ground in that area. There's a chance we may have missed something. I mean, with that right there... Okay, examine the tree first. Kay couldn't have fallen over the railing. So where did she fall? There must be a clue around here somewhere. I must scour the scene and inspect anything that catches my attention. Alright, so then... we examine the hatch next to the tree. What's this? Looks like a service hatch, Kay. Do you think you might have fallen down here instead? Nah, you'd never be as clumsy as that. I'm sorry. I just can't say one way. I don't like how... Whoops, hang on. I don't like how parallel this is to A-Leg. I mean, to be fair, buddy, to be fair, if Kay gets found guilty, what is stopping the committee from just silencing her? I'm telling you, bro, we saw that the victim, Rosie Ringer, she was a defense attorney who served on the committee, and... Alert says, Dear Kay, don't worry, make sure to get your precious items back. And then there's the letter the victim wrote, which said, good luck getting your revenge what happened 12 years ago. And obviously that's on the committee. So Rosie got silenced by the committee. And who's to say Kay's not on the chopping block next? That's why this case is so good, because Kay doesn't just have her memories in line. She could die if the committee decides to cover it up. Yeah. Anyways. I'm sorry. I just can't say one way or the other. My bad, kiddo. Just another one of my silly musings. You don't have to take me so seriously, you know? I don't? Never? Well, maybe not never. Like if I told you to leap lyrically into my arms. Fenda! Chill, Miles Dorino. Where's your sense of whimsy? So, never then. Ouch. Talk about a deep cut. Okay, so now that we have that, we examine the cotton candy concession stand next to Kay.
Hey you! Yeah you! How about some delicious Parting Clouds cotton candy to brighten your day?
Parting Clouds. Is it named for the fact that we're so close to the clouds up here?
Our gimmick is we take a normal serving of cotton candy, we split it in half, part of it if you will. Half of the candy, same price, double the profit. And we're laughing all the way to the bank.
Wow. Wow. I don't think your customers will be laughing if you keep sharing that information so freely. Jesus, dude. What the hell? What kind of business motto is that? I completely forgot about that. Okay, next we gotta examine the binoculars. You can insert a coin to take a look at the distant landscape for a few minutes. Kay absolutely would have been all over this. Well, the Kay I know anyway. But for now, I better focus my powers of observation on this rooftop. Okay, then after that, We examine the TV set next to the stand.
As you can see, they're still hard at work up on the 50th floor. That's where the Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence holds the disciplinary hearings, correct? That's right! There have been people walking by the windows all evening. This is one serious investigation.
Well, this doesn't make our chance of getting out of here with Kay any rosier. We'll have to find a way to slip past the press. I'm a cool, mysterious customer, Mazzarino, but I'm no spy. Maybe we can use him as a decoy if things get desperate. Okay, whatever you're thinking, quit it. I can tell it doesn't end well for me. I must scour the scene and inspect anything that catches my attention. Well, that's odd. The 50th floor? But there's a floor above it, though. Hang on. Deduce the lit up floor. Let me present the building pamphlet. Eureka! Question, how many floors does this building have? Easy, 50, right? Kinda ironic that just a few feet above where the committee works its ugly little schemes. It's a place where starry-eyed young romantics come to wish for everlasting smoochy times. But then, what's that dark space above the 50th floor? The gloomy underbelly of love? Wait a minute. Exactly. The committee chamber is supposed to be on the top floor, directly beneath the viewing platform. But it actually appears to be located one floor below that. Clearly contradicting the supposed facts. Maybe whoever wrote the pamphlet made a mistake? Somehow I don't think so. Call me crazy, but... yes, there appears to be a hidden 51st floor. Wow, and that's where they keep the gloomy underbelly of love? Ah, my heart! You didn't take it quite so literally, Kay! Good, then perhaps we can take this more seriously instead. Come on, have you met me, Miles? That might be easier said than done. It'd still be easier than trying to enjoy your so-called jokes. Okay, and then after that, things if you like, then we logic 51st and down the hatch. How has a whole floor between the 50th and the viewing platform remained undetected all this time? You got me there. Kinda hard to hide a set of stairs going up to it, if you ask me. That's precisely it. Things like stairs that are normally quite out in the open, going unnoticed by people, seems a little bit implausible. Which can only mean the 51st floor is no ordinary floor, and can't be reached by ordinary means. Then we'll just have to reach it through extraordinary means, right? Well, I don't know about extraordinary means, but maybe let's go for unconventional? Indeed. Consider, if you will, the hatch we found under the cherry tree. What would you expect to find on the other side of such a hatch? A room of some kind, perhaps? Oh, a secret room! Now you're talking my language! Well, let's go take a look. Alright, there we go. What is this place? Look at all the stuff down there. Is it a storeroom? Whatever it is, I think we can safely say that this is where you fell. Go team! Strike one mystery off the list. Yes, but the greater mystery of Kay's memory loss remains unsolved. We have a red raincoated figure who can walk on air to account for, among other things. Hey, can't let a guy bask in his success for a second? So we found a hidden storeroom. I vote we scooch down and check it out. We have pretty much exhausted everything up here, and it can't hurt to take a look. Investigation complete. Is that you, Mr. Edgeworth? Oh, Emma's here. Emma, what are you doing here? I heard about what happened from Detective Gumshoe. I was in the area, so I thought I'd come by and see what's going on. This is Emma Skye. She's a high school student currently studying in Europe to become a forensic scientist. The younger sister of a former superior of mine. We've also stood in court together. The detective called me up in a panic. He said your badge fell off the big building, and Kay was in a man's suit and... Hold it right there. Didn't you just leave to go back to Europe a few days ago? And you're back again already? Yep, I'm here with one of my professors. But not doing any schoolwork or anything, just some interpreting. Then shouldn't you be off doing that instead of gallivanting around a crime scene? Oh, it's fine. There's this wonderful thing called body language after all. That's not an actual language, Emma. Anyway, never mind me. This is about Kay. How is she? Where is she? Oh, shucks. Isn't that sweet, Kay Meister? Your little friend is worried about you. Yeah. Who's this guy? Don't tell me when you got a new assistant, Mr. Edgeworth. Very funny, young lady. It's actually the other way around, I'll have you know. Eddie Fender, attorney at law, and senior partner at Edgeworth & Co. law offices. Edgeworth? So you are his assistant. Wait, attorney? Since when were you a defense attorney? I'm not... To say it's complicated is an understatement. Let's not sweat the details for now, yeah? First things first. But an attorney, Mr. Edgeworth? Really? Oof, it's like I'm not even here. What is this? Some kind of weird experiment? Perhaps we should head down below. I'll explain it there. I agree. The police could be here any minute. And who's this? I'll explain later, Emma. Come on, time to go. Oh, all right. But you better explain yourself, Mr. Hotshot Pro Attorney? Trust me, I'll explain that too. Okie dokie do. Down the hatch we go. A very quick part to that. But now here's where the real meat of the investigation sequence is going to kick off. This entire middle part of the case is basically where all the investigating is, and then after it, it's exclusively cross-examinations. April 5th, 7:06 p.m. Location, unknown. It's dark as a grave down there. Can't see the nose in front of my roughishly handsome face. Watch your step, Emma. Ouch! I hit my head on something! Make your way down slowly, Kay. I don't want you to slip. Oh, yes, Mr. Edgeworth. There's gotta be a light switch here somewhere. Ah, bingo! This is... Oh, where have we seen that statue before? Where have we seen that suitcase before? Oh. Oh. Yeah. If we played the first game, which we did, you'll immediately recognize this. Also, win through compromise. That is actually a reference to Trials and Tribulation, by the way. This is... the statue. Also, there's the suitcase. It's more than what you think it is. So, the hidden 51st floor room is really being used as a storeroom. We need to take a careful look over these items. All right, Mr. Edgeworth, you promised me an explanation or three. I did indeed. Where to even start? Wow, a lot's been happening, huh? What a case. It's not supposed to fill you with excitement, Emma. Seems like you've gotten yourself into a real picker, Mr. Prosecutor Attorney. I'm not an attorney. Or a prosecutor anymore. Well, whatever you are, I think it's time for science to lend a helping hand. Don't worry, I brought my entire kit with me. Well, if you're so sure. Are you kidding? I live for moments like this. Here, let's make this all official. Good working with you again, Mr. Edgeworth. And you as well, Miss Sky. And there were 4. Right, everyone? Let's get to work. I want to know where that elevator goes. Looks like it goes down? It's something we'll certainly want to investigate. Further, sorry, excuse me. It's something we'll want to investigate further, but we should look around up here first. Aye, aye, Captain. Let me know if you find anything juicy. I'll keep trying to see what I can remember. I'll let you know if anything comes to mind. Thank you, Kay. Emma? Ready, willing, and able to investigate, Mr. Edgeworth? Very well. Then let's begin. Begin investigation. 51st floor, storeroom. Now, hang on. Let's go ahead and look over the guide here. So speak with Emma and ask about herself. Wait, we'll do that later, actually. Before we do that. Actually, wait. You know what? I'll do it anyways. Triangle button. Ask me anything. I'm all ears. Excelsior's hiding something, isn't he? Oh yeah, no, you'll see. You'll see. I'm back for a little while to interpret for my professor, but I'm still mostly based in Europe. Gotta keep studying until I'm the finest forensic investigator under the sun. I'm very glad to hear you say that. Dedication to one's chosen field is a student's greatest responsibility. It sure is, but I just don't want to get ahead of it academically. I've been trying hard at sports, too. Especially that one event they have at school athletics meets. You know the one? There are quite a few to choose from. It's huge over there, and unlike here, it's considered a real hardcore sport for adults. That's right, I'm talking about glasses battles. Who hasn't heard of those, right? Me. Never. Not even once. I have never heard of that. I have legitimately never heard of that either. That's got to be slang for something. That has to be slang for something. Ask her the remaining questions. Oh, okay. I can't believe they suspect Kay. That's outrageous. I couldn't agree more. But the best thing we can do right now is stay calm and look for clues. Except, I've been scientifically processing the situation, and I think I've come up with a better idea. Maybe we could administer some carefully targeted electric shocks directly to Kay's brain. What do you say? Might just be the thing to bring her memory back online. That sounds more than a little risky. It sounds incredibly risky, in fact. Personally, I'm still of the opinion that searching this room for clues is the better option. Really? But a little risk is what science is all about. Yes, a little being the operative phrase. Okay, now, first we examine, if you like, okay, examine the massive statue. The statue? What is it? Got some new data for me? Not exactly. It's just something from a case I worked on. A piece of evidence. I believe it's called the Alfred statue. And there were 2 of them. A real one and a fake. Whichever one this is, it shouldn't be here of all places. An old case, huh? Guess you've worked on a bunch of different... Huh? Gotcha! Got it! Red dang-handed, guiltier than a tomcat covered in cream. Ah! My eyes! Stop that at once! Ain't no stopping my snapping, not till I got every dang detail and then some. Y'all think I'm about to let you a bunch of dirty criminals go before I get the shot? Think again. We're not criminals. Yeah, sure. Pull the other one. It's got bells on. This here camera's a weapon of justice. It ain't about the... I need to get, like, my like, southern accent here. This here's camera... Blah! I'm reading too fast! This here camera is a weapon of justice. It ain't about the hog and walls of your cheap denials. Oh, it's you. Huh? Why, you're that low-down, dirty jerk of a prosecutor, ain't ya? Who are you calling a low-down, dirty jerk? This is Lotta Hart. A photojournalist by trade. We've crossed paths on a few occasions. Especially on that one particular case. She's hard to forget, and even harder to get a word in edgewise with.
Quit making that face, will ya? That's the face of a no-good schemer if I ever saw one.
No, that is the face of Stacy, aka Satsuki. That is the face of a schemer, Lotta. Seems like I didn't leave the best of impressions on her either.
Well, it's payback time, Mr. Schemer. You ought to be thankful is all I want from you is a couple of pictures.
But we're just here to investigate.
Oh, sure y'all are. If by investigate you mean pull the wool over Lotta's mile-wide eyes.
Sorry, Miss Edgeworth. I thought she might listen to me. It didn't hurt to try, I guess. But we're probably better off leaving her alone for now. Okay, after that, the masks on the back wall. It's kind of creepy. All these masks lined up here in the dark. Not a fan of horror movies, I take it.
No way! That stuff's so unscientific.
I mean, okay, in Emma's defense, she's not wrong. Horror movies kind of lack realism. Even the horror movies that want to be realistic, like, here's the thing about horror, guys. Quick side tangent here. The things I find scariest are things that could happen to me. So stuff like, you know, monsters and aliens and shit. That isn't nearly as scary to me. What is scary to me is stuff like cults. You could probably run into like a dark cult or like a serial killer or something. That shit is scary. That shit is actually scary. Let me get a quick water break. Okay. I think you mispronounced terrifying. I must scour the scene and inspect anything that catches my attention. Jason, Freddy, Leatherface. Anyways. Okay, so now we have to deduce the empty hook, and then we present the jamming ninja mask. Kay was carrying a jamming ninja mask when she was found. But it looks like it might have been originally from this hook. Scientifically speaking, that doesn't seem like a crazy hypothesis. Which would mean that Kay was really here? As you put it, not a crazy hypothesis, but why? Did she come to steal something maybe? There's all kinds of stuff here. Because she's a great thief who steals the truth, I suppose. No, I think it's too early to jump to any conclusions. Okay, then after that, we examine the stuffed toy with a missing horn. These are... What's the matter, Mr. Truth? Also, the Babyliss ink, and that's Callisto Yu's perfume. Guys, that by the way, that's the nickel samurai, or the steel samurai son, the Iron Infant, which we saw back in the Kadofian embassy case. Callisto Yu's perfume, the Babyliss ink, and there's the stuffed toy that was on the president's plane. Keep note of this. Well, what's the matter, Mr. Edgeworth? If I'm not mistaken, several of these items on display here are pieces of evidence from old cases of mine. But what are they doing here? Pieces of evidence. This room is full of evidence from old cases. What? Why is it all here? I mean, we already beat the smuggling ringleader. We know the smuggling ring is in disarray, its remnants. But why is it all here? Uh-oh. That's not good. Maybe this is where the committee stores stuff it's looking into? It can't be. Evidence like this is stored at the police department. They don't keep stuff at the prosecutor's office too? When a case is ongoing, yes, but once the last trial is finished up, it's supposed to go right back to the precinct, unless there's a very good reason for it to go elsewhere. And yet, here it all is. There's no point in trying to figure out this right now. I need to take a closer look at it. They all have labels. Labels with numbers printed on them. Exhibit numbers, maybe? You said they were all pieces of evidence, right? Yes, but judging by how the numbers are written by the items themselves, I'd guess these are prices. Prices? I would have never guessed that. Wait, but none of the stuff could be worth that much money, could it? The prices are very high indeed. It's no wonder she's surprised. I must examine all of these in detail. So we examine the stuffed animal, missing the horn. Aw, isn't he a cutie? Look at this fluffy little guy. That's the stuffed animal we found at Gourd Lake. He should be in the possession of the prosecutor in charge of that case. So how did he wind up here? Aw, but look, he's missing his left horn. Excuse me. He is, but he never had it in the first place. At least, not as far as we ever saw. Defective merchandise, huh? Then we need to contact the manufacturer. I demand a recall! Now that I come to think of it, why would anyone give the president a broken toy to begin with? Because that's right, this was actually something that... Oh. So the storeroom is actually more of a stock room? It would seem so. Much about it pains me to consider such a thing. What kind of person sells off evidence from very serious criminal cases? And who too? Who would even want to pay for all this stuff? Somebody, clearly. The price tags are proof of that. Wow, people will really collect anything, huh? Fascinating. After that, examine the cloth with a star on it. That's odd. This is the only spot with nothing on it. But it still has one of those signs in front of it. Indeed. And look, there's an outline in the dust on top of the cloth. I'd say something was probably sitting there until quite recently, wouldn't you? You know what? I think you might be right. But, I'm drawing a blank trying to imagine what. Well, I might have an idea. A star-shaped outline. Don't we have a piece of evidence that might as well be connected? Could this be related to the evidence somehow? Yes, it can be. The outline in the dust matches the bottom of the candelabrum exactly. I'd say there's a very strong chance that this is where our murderer took it from. Which would mean the candelabrum was evidence from another case? It certainly seems likely, but that's not our concern right now. The key thing to note is that the murder weapon was taken from this storeroom. Okay, and then after that, we examine the briefcase on the right. You said this... Oh, I think I did this one day. You said this statue is a piece of evidence from an old case of yours, right? It's pretty weird looking, I have to say. It's known as the Alfred statue. The what? The Alfred statue. But it says here that it's called the Alfred statue. Alfred. What are you muttering about? Oh, nothing. Let's carry on looking around, shall we? Piles of banknotes just left out for all to see. A little tasteless, wouldn't you say? No way! These are actually $100 bills! That's a fortune right there! How many years would it take for you to make that much money, Mr. Edgeworth? Please, Emma, I don't even want to think about it. Okay, so after we did the briefcase, is there anything else? Now we do price tag, lots of money. We've seen the items of old evidence marked with price tags, along with a huge pile of cash. I think it's pretty clear that somebody has been running a little illicit trade in judicial goods. Shady deals on the hidden 51st floor? This is big. It has to be, right? I think it might be, but we need to investigate a little further yet. We need to find out more about what's going on here. If only there was an eyewitness we could interview. An eyewitness, huh? So, there is an illegal auction selling off old evidence. Let me repeat that. There is an illegal auction stationed above the committee selling evidence. Oh, that's not good. However, shady and incredibly unethical as that is, we might be able to use that to our advantage. Think about it. If Edgeworth can get the public to find out the committee is doing corrupted things like this, we might actually have our ticket out of here. Because the big question you may have been asking yourself, and I sure was when I was playing this game first time, was how is Edgeworth ever going to beat these people? I mean, they quite literally have all the power, but this is huge. If we can prove that the committee has had a hand in an illegal auction, we might be in business. Pun fully intended. Now we speak with Lauda. Why exactly are you here, Miss Hart? Me, I told you, I'm just in it for the truth, for the good of society, and little old me, of course. I'm a photographer for the people. For the people? If you won't tell me the real reason you're here, perhaps I can hazard a guess. Somebody was carrying out an illicit police evidence trafficking scheme here in the storeroom. Oh, so she's after a juicy story. Makes sense. What? How'd y'all figure that out? Well, guess it means I don't have to tiptoe around it anymore now. One of my sources told me the down low about an underground auction. What? So all the items here was sold to the highest bidder. Folks were slinging money around like it was going out of fashion. Had to come see for myself, of course. Got my eyes on the subject, you know. Should have heard the tales my contact was telling. Taller than 2 trees, or so I thought at first. Anyhow, wasn't about to write it up based on a hearsay alone. So yesterday, I slunk in behind this here statue, and settled in to wait. Bidding started late last night, and carried right on through the break of dawn. So, the auction and the murder happened on the same night. A coincidence? Dirty deals in a secret storeroom. Talk about a story. Was there anything else on sale apart from the items of evidence in this room? Sure, there was regular old stuff too. Shady artworks from who knows where. That kind of thing. In what way are shady artworks regular exactly? But the evidence was the big draw for sure. Reckon they were selling them faster than the crooks could smuggle them out in the cops and prosecutor shops. Excuse me. Sorry about that. And I'll bet you got pictures of the whole thing, right, Miss Hart? Well, you see, that main event was down below. I had to try and see what I could from up here. Having been up here since yesterday, I assume you witnessed the entire auction from start to finish then? It was an underground affair, like I said, so folks wasn't exactly giving much away. All them customers came down one at a time from up on the roof there. Threw en masse just as soon as they got down the ladder, and that ain't all. They had voice changer doodads on them, see? Teeny tiny ones, dinkier than a bug's behind. It's so you couldn't see the real faces, and you couldn't hear the real voices. I cannot pronounce that word, it's all heck. You mean surreptitious, right? I surely do. Super sweet surreptitude. Also not a word. Anywho, once they had their gear on, they went right on downstairs. And then, in came the next one. When it came time to leave, they all done the same but in reverse. Up they came again, one by one. Max back on the hook, up the ladder and away. Whoa, that's a serious operation. And how many participants were there? 11 altogether. I counted them when they came down the ladder. I didn't just hide behind a stupid statue the whole time, you know. You didn't? Then where were you? Well, when I first got here, you know what? That ain't important right now. So, you were hiding behind the statue from the very beginning. Anywho, I watched all them folks come in from my spine spot there in the shadows. I see. So you're watching from behind the statue. They used that there elevator to get down below. And once they was all down there, I snuck up and took me a peek at what was going on. You mean the elevator You mean the elevator remained in the room beneath? Nah, they sent it back up, but there's a little peeky hole if you know where to look. Elevator don't quite sit flush with the floor, see? And if you bend down and squint just right, you can see the whole shebang. Did you catch sight of who was in charge? Alright, sure, I guess I did. Ain't so half a good a story if I don't get a glimpse of the evil ringleader and all. I wonder who this ringleader is. I'll have to ask her some more. You mentioned a ringleader. Can you tell me anything more about them? Y'all should know I came here to get me an exclusive. An exclusive ain't much dang good if you done spilled the beans already. I see. So you don't know anything actually about them. You think that's why she won't give us an answer? Makes sense, I guess. You got me. Couldn't see if it was a man or a woman, a kid or an old-timer. Nothing. What were they wearing? Could you see that at least? Sure. White jacket, white gloves, and a magenta flower on the lapel. Them three things is what I remember. But what's a good description of the outfit if I don't got a clue who was wearing it? So this ringleader disguised their identity too, just like everybody else? Yes, sirree. Mask, voice changer, the whole 9 yards. They were wearing one of the masks. Which one? Let me see. Oh yeah, this guy, Zervan. Zervan? What kind of name is that? Seriously, Miss Edgeworth? You've never heard of Zervan? He's a global hero of Onyankopon. Onyankopon. I gotta get that right. He's a global hero of Onyankopon's arch nemesis. Who hasn't heard of Zervan the Time Lord? I think you might be better off asking who has. So, you didn't get a glimpse of their face at all? No, I dang well didn't. What kind of scotch is my scoop? This whole mess has been nothing but a snap hunt. I should have never come. We know of somebody who was dressed like that. Maybe I should try showing that evidence to Miss Hart. You said the ringleader was wearing a white jacket, white gloves, and a magenta flower, correct? I sure did. Don't ask me why they were dressed up like a peacock on a parade day, but they was. Is this the outfit you saw? Well, holy smokes, it sure as heck is. But wait, so the big cheese is dead? All we know is that she is the victim in the case we're investigating. Her name was Rosie Ringer. Do you know her? Nope. So the ringleader was a lady? Well, ain't that just a slipper in a dang eel, throwing me off with a man's jacket like that? I hardly think she did it to fool you specifically. But setting that aside for now, what's important is that we discovered something vital to the case. Namely, the underground auction was chaired by none other than our victim. So somebody done bumped off the boss, huh? Then, that's what was happening. When what was happening? Nothing. Nothing at all. Y'all just go on about your business now. No offense, Miss Hart, but that made you sound about 5 times more suspicious. Suspicious my foot! I told you, it's nothing! And you won't get nothing out of me more than that. Wait, so there is more. How many dang times I gotta tell ya? I ain't nothing, okay? And I'm done saying nothing either way. Aw, you can tell us just a little more? Pretty please? I'll tell you this, okay? I'm a journalist, a news hound, a scoop hunter, you hear? Exclusive articles go out, money comes in. That's how the game is played. I'll tell you more? Heck no. I done told you about nothing already. Wait, what if I examine some fingerprints for you? Pro bono. What kind of cockamamie thank you is that? I'd sooner get a tooth pulled. You want intel? You go dig it up yourselves, just like I had to. Okay, guess she isn't gonna talk to either of us. Oh, she will. I'll handle things from here, Emma. Now I gotta get water, because this is a logic chess segment, and there's gonna be a lot of dialogue here. Backies! Okay. Hang on, is there a message here for me? Oh, no, okay, just... Actually, that is a very good-looking steak. Oh my gosh! One of my buddies just sent me a steak he cooked. No, that actually looks really good. God damn, dude! Good, god damn. Literally all I'm straight and my mouth is watering. Man, I need to go out and get steak, man. Man. No, actually, I should, like, go down and get a steak somewhere, because that actually, I'm not gonna lie, I actually could go for a steak. Man, sometimes it's the simple things in life. Okay, audio check. Man, sometimes it's the simple. Okay, audio's good. Now, let's go back to the guide here. Or as, like Lockhart would say, let's go back to the guide here. I'm trying to give her a slightly different voice than I gave Tabby in case 1, so if you're wondering why, even though they both have like the southern accent, I'm doing Lana's slightly differently. Okay, so then we oh, sorry, just a response. Okay, so now we just go to the right just a little bit. Wait, that's not it. Okay. Oh wait. No, wait. I forgot. I gotta. Face down, okay, face down. No guide for logic chess. I forgot, I'm doing no guides for logic chess. It doesn't really matter anyways because, excuse me. It doesn't really matter anyways because, I mean, I've already memorized this case nearly by heart, outside of a few things. Oh, she will. I'll handle things from here, Emma. There's a certain technique I find useful when dealing with difficult customers such as her. She may not give up the information voluntarily, but it doesn't mean she can't be persuaded to. Mind chess! Let's go. I'm so used to calling it logic chess, but, you know, because of the fan translation, but now it's, mind chess. Let's start by observing our opponent. I ain't telling you nothing, you hear? Now quit wasting my time before I really blow a fuse. As we've seen, she's very quick-tempered. She'll try to cut the conversation dead wherever possible. I won't have much time to think, so I'll need to be swift and decisive. Miss Hart is definitely hiding something from me. So my first move is to discover what that something is. Mind chess, commence! I need you to tell me everything you know, and don't you dare leave anything out. Go jump in a creek, you big bully. Why should I tell you anything? You don't got nothing to do with me, nor with you. Sorry, Black. Why should I tell you anything? You don't got nothing to do with me, nor me with you neither. I don't have a clue as to how to proceed with this line of questioning. I better try another tack. I can see you're a little agitated, Miss Hart. Let's just try and calm down, talk with me. I'm calm, darn you. Leastways, I will be just as soon as y'all quick yanking my dang chain. That's better. Being a news hound's all about keeping a cool head, no matter what the world throws at you, see? Speaking of news hounds, this might interest you. I met one a few days ago. She was a very hungry young reporter indeed. A reporter with a very particular turn of phrase, similar to your own, in fact. Oh yeah? She spoke like me, huh? Guess that could have been someone I know. Her name is Tabby Lloyd. And if I had closed my eyes, I could have believed I was listening to you. She told me about somebody she called the Chief. She was talking about you, wasn't she? Oh, so y'all met Tabby, huh? Well, ain't that something? Where'd y'all bump into her? She's a great kid, I reckon. Wait. Oh, no, you don't. You ain't getting on my good side bringing her into this, you hear? You sneaky snake. Ooh, you nearly had me too. Interesting. Talking about Miss Lloyd seemed to make her lower her guard a little. I think we can use that to our advantage. I need you to tell me everything you know, and don't you dare leave anything out. Go jump in the creek, you big bully. Why should I tell you anything? You don't got nothing to do with me, nor me with you neither. Time to deploy my clue. I don't have anything to do with you. That's a little unkind, don't you think? After all, I know your apprentice. I know her pretty well, in fact. Well, yeah, well, guess it does seem kind of cold for me to say that if you know her pretty good. Wouldn't want the poor kid thinking I don't give a rat's behind. Good. Then you'll tell us what you know. Fine. See, it's like this. Got me a... Wait, what am I thinking? Dang, Yolanda, you can't let him bamboozle you that easily. What was that about a scoop? Oh, forget it. It was nothing. How embarrassing. A professional journalist making a careless slip of the tongue. You have a scoop, don't you? Now tell me what it is. All right, I got me a scoop, a big one. But I can't just go blabbing about it to y'all. I got bills to pay. She may be hiding something very important. I have to get it out of her somehow. We need to know the details of this scoop. She's quick to anger, but she's also quick to let key information slip. Now that we know that, the rest shouldn't be too hard. Let's see what else we can get out of her. Your big scoop involves something criminal in nature, doesn't it? Meh, might be it did, might be it didn't. Which is it? This is important. All right, you don't gotta holler at me like that. I ain't got done nothing shameful or nothing, just snuck in and did some undercover reporting. Silent treatment, huh? Well, two can play that. Oh, whoops. Perhaps a little more proactive is called for. Dang it! Oh my god, that's so much time gone down the drain! Miss Hart is very quick-tempered. She'll try to cut the conversation dead wherever possible. I don't have much time to think, so I need to be swift and decisive. Okay, don't reread it. I'll be the judge of whether your actions were shameful or not. An unlawful entry into private property is very shameful indeed. In fact, it's a crime. Hey, you did the exact same thing, genius. Oh, but, well, I guess you're a prosecutor, huh? I guess you're allowed to do stuff like that. Let's not mention the fact that I already handed in my badge, shall we? Still, it don't amount to a whole hell of beans, right? There's folks out there who've done way worse.
Murder for one, next to murder, trespassing ain't hardly nothing.
From your muttering about murder just now, I gather that your scoop has something to do with a homicide.
No, I was just talking all hypothetical like. You know, about murder being the big one and all. Ain't nothing worse than a murder.
Not the most skillful evasion I've heard in my career.
Look, I done told you, okay? I snuck into the auction. I'll cop to that. But murder? I don't know nothing about no murder. Ain't seen nothing, ain't heard nothing. Scout's honor.
Oh my gosh. This scoop of yours, does it have something to do with the auction?
You know what? I clean forget.
But you tried to infiltrate an underground auction. It only stands to reason that you observed something. Otherwise, what would you have to write about?
I don't know what to tell you. I didn't hear nothing.
If you didn't hear the sound of nothing, does that mean you'd heard the sound of something? Something during your time in this room?
Well, see, that's, it was not really, just a little noise is all. Wouldn't even make page 16. Forget I mentioned it.
So, something happened during the auction. Something that made a noise of some kind. This could be a valuable clue. Okay, skip past the dollar because I've already seen this before. From your mutterings about murder just now, I gather... Okay, whatever. That was a little closer than I care to admit, if I'm being honest. Look at that timer. You told me you heard something during the auction. You claimed it wasn't important, but it must have been. Otherwise, why would you remember it? I think it was something very memorable indeed. In fact, I believe it was the cry of a murder victim.
How do you keep doing that? All right, it's true. I wound up smack dab in the middle of a murder scene, but only by accident. And that's all you're getting out of me. Won't be no scoop left otherwise.
The murder Miss Hart witnessed. It must be the same murder we ourselves have been investigating. That should prove to be a very valuable piece of information indeed. Perhaps we should finish up by confirming the credibility of her claim. I have her on the back foot now. Time to finish this. I need you to describe the murder in detail. This is vitally important.
Wish I could help y'all, but I don't really recall a whole bunch. Ain't much I can tell you. Sorry, I mean, look at me. Can't get my facts straight half the time.
Fair enough. Be honest, Miss Hart. I know there's something you're still not telling me.
Ain't nothing left to tell, dang it. I done spilled my guts already.
Oh my gosh. You said you wound up in the middle of a murder scene. Is that really true?
You call me a lie now? Hooey, now I'm mad. Real mad. I'm a journalist. How am I gonna sell stories if folks can't trust that I'm telling the truth? I got me a motto, you know. Faster than anybody, honester than everybody.
A motto, huh? That could be an important clue. I should bear it in mind. Be honest, Miss Hart. I know there's something you're still not telling me.
Ain't nothing left to tell, dang it. I done spilled my guts already.
Okay, so it's not that one. I need you to describe the murder in detail. This is vitally important.
Wish I could help y'all, but I don't rightly recall a whole bunch.
I can't imagine that being so vague on the facts is a trait valued among journalists. Surely accuracy and honesty are what's necessary when reporting a story.
Well, see...
It seems your so-called information is not credible after all.
Look, there was a murder, and I was there. I can even prove it.
You can prove it, can you? How?
I got it right. Wait, you heard that? I was just talking to myself. Don't think nothing of it.
She's still hiding something. This is a very vital clue. I need to use it to maximum effect. Not when I kick into maximum overdrive! Hi-ya! The SpongeBob reference. Be honest, Miss Hot. I know there's something you're still not telling me.
Ain't nothing left to tell, dang it. I done spilled my guts already.
Time to deploy my clue. I know you've been keeping something from me. And that something is proof. Proof related to the murder you witnessed. Proof sounds enough to form the basis of a story you're hoping to sell. Ah! Okay, I can re-pull up the guide now. Let's do a quick audio check as well, just in case. Okay, audio check. Just in case. Okay, audio's still good. That's good. I can re-pull up the guide here on the side. Okay.
Dang it all to heck! Give me a break, will ya? I'll come clean, okay? That's what you want, right? Here, I done snapped me a photo. Happy now? You better be.
And that's checkmate. Mine chess! Checkmate! Whoosh!
Can't believe I let that happen. Betrayed by my own big mouth.
Well, it happened. So time for you to tell us everything.
I saw the whole thing. Watched it auction from start to finish.
But you didn't just watch it, right? You took pictures too.
Yeah, about that. So, like I said, I was spot on the whole thing right from the get-go. They was all shouting out bids and somebody wins something and bam, down comes the hammer. Heading upstairs and pay, shouts the old ringleader, and the whole thing starts over again. Anyhow, soon as that happened, I had to think quick. That's when I ran behind the statue and hid.
And who was it that eventually appeared?
Didn't see none, but I heard some that made me pretty sure it was whoever placed the winning bid. The sweet, sweet sound of cold, hard cash.
I'm not sure I have any idea what that sounds like. The sound of someone counting bills, perhaps?
Anyhow, the deal was settled. Your bill's up there. I heard two people yabbering for a little while.
Wait, so two people came up the elevator?
You betcha. My guess is the other one was our friend the ringleader. Anyway, yabba yabba yabba, on it goes for a little while, then a scream. Well, that shook me up pretty good, so I hunkered down in my hiding place and tried to stay out of sight.
So you didn't see the moment of the murder?
No, but I heard it real good.
You didn't try and help whoever's being attacked?
Quit trying to be funny, girlie. It don't sue you none. I'm just a dang little journalist on a lonesome. You think I was fixing to jump in and save the day?
Well, also, it was an illegal auction, so they probably would have tried to hurt you, so I kind of don't blame Lotta on this one. Dainty.
Anyhow, there was a bunch of rustling sounds. Right about that was happening. I got to feeling pretty bad what I had done.
Well, that makes sense, I guess. After all, you didn't...
I didn't remember to get my camera out and snap even a single picture.
Oh.
Scoop like that drops out of my lap and I miss it. Someone ought to tend my hide. Anyhow, a little more time goes by, and then there's this clattering noise.
This voice is throwing me off, dude. Also, it's hurting my throat somewhat.
Anyhow, then a little more time goes by, and there's this little kind of
Slow down! Don't read so fast. I need to learn the lesson. Do not read so fast.
Anyhow, then there's a little more time goes by, and there's this kind of clattering noise. I'm there thinking, gotta get the shot this time, so I grab one real quick and from the shadows there.
Could we see this photograph?
Aw, do I have to? Yeah.
That's the person in the red raincoat, the one who attacked Kay. So Kay's rain-coated assailant also attacked the victim here in the storeroom. Then proceeded up to the roof where they assaulted Kay. There's only one person in this picture. Where's the victim?
Weird, huh? I wondered the same thing. Heard two people, but there was only one in the shot I got. And I didn't see nobody nowhere else in that room neither. But that's the killer, all right. At least the way as I'm pretty sure it is.
So are we saying that the victim disappeared? How did you know is the killer just by looking?
Because they're literally red-handed with blood. How else would that get there, huh?
And the auction just carried on after that?
Sure did. They went right along like nothing had happened. Rich folks is crazy than a box of frogs. I'll never understand how they think.
Funny. I find journalists a struggle to understand as well. Okay, after that, we logic and connect auction entry and disappearing victim. If the storeroom was the actual scene of the crime, then you'd expect the body to have been up here at some point as well.
Huh? Well, yeah.
But think back to what Miss Hart told us about how the customers left the auction. Do you remember?
Well, of course I do. They came up from downstairs, back to the storeroom and... Oh!
Exactly. The killer would have had to hide the body in order to avoid its discovery. The question is, where did they hide it? Emma, if you wouldn't mind putting your skills to work for me now.
I'd love to. You just say what you need and I'll get right on it.
Very well then. Then I'd like for you to check for blood residue. A luminol test, in other words.
Sure thing. Prepare to witness the power of science.
I've never seen somebody's eyes actually sparkle with anticipation before.
All right, how about we test the ladder over there first? Based on Miss Hart's picture, I'd say the person in the red raincoat was about to climb it to make their escape, which means there's a high chance of a positive result. To test an area, just press X. That'll spray a little luminol on it. And if it happens to land some blood, you'll see it react like this. It still feels super raw to see it just appear like that. Anyway, that's a positive, but it's still faint. Spraying it a couple more times should be enough to really make it stand out. Yeah, that brought it out nicely. It made it feel that much more real. Anyway, I think you've got the gist of how to look for blood traces now, right? I'm sure there's still some more to be found, so why don't you give it a try?
There we go. And that's how it's done. Take a good look around and see if you can find some other places to test with luminol. Okay, so I think we examined the box, I think. Yep, spray inside the box. You want to test there? Just spray some luminol on any place suspicious. Mr. Edgeworth, blood! But how could it have gone in there? Maybe somebody put something with blood on it in there. Excuse me. Excuse me. There are still places we haven't tested yet. Let's see what else we can find. I think you have to examine the elevator next, because the elevator would have blood on it, because you have the body there. Yep. Want to test there? Just spray some luminol on any place suspicious. We've got a positive. There's blood there. But how come? Probably because this is where the murder was actually committed, I'd say. Oh, looks like some of it dripped through to the floor below, too. Okay. I think that's all the blood there is to be found. All right, then that concludes this phase of our investigation. Next, after this, Logic, hidden body, closed box. Blood in the closed box can only mean one thing. That this is where the body was hidden. I'm certain of it. I wonder who won the box in the auction. I haven't the foggiest. Still, it's a very helpful discovery.
Now y'all just hold on your horses there. There's no way the body could have been in there.
What do you mean?
I took a look at that here box when I first got in here. Looked to be just about the perfect size for a little hide-and-go-seek if the need arose. And maybe it would have been if I could have darned open the thing. But it was wrapped in chains and locked up tight. And I ain't no escapologist.
Escamapolo. Wow, that's a funny word.
But it was wrapped in chains and locked up tight, and I ain't no escamapologist.
Escamapolo. What is this word?
The murder happened just a little after I scoped it out, so nobody could have put no body in there.
Wrapped in chains and locked up tight, you say? That's odd. Because it doesn't look to be wrapped in chains any longer.
Huh? Well, slap my head and call me silly. Could have swore it was, though.
Escape artist mumbled. Yeah, it's a very funny word, that. I think we've examined all we can now.
Great! Time to see what's waiting down below.
Shaking a leg already, are we, Miles? Okie dokie. Hey, K-Meister.
Yes, Mr. Fender?
We're about to ready move out, so I want you to stick with me, okay? I can't have you getting lost.
Of course. I'll be sure to stay close.
When did those two get along? When did those two start getting along so well? Investigation complete. April 5th, 7:43 p.m. Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence. Chamber. Mr. Edgeworth! This room.
This is the auction room? No, this is the committee chamber.
Way to drop right into my lap, K. Faraday. You've got real guts, I'll give you that. Arrest her, men! Arrest her right now!
Wait, but she's...
As for the rest of the riffraff, throw them out into the streets where they belong!
You can't do this! This is going way overboard! Yo, what she said! Miles? This isn't looking good, I gotta say!
See how the blinding light of just... Ow! Ew!
What did I do?
You'll have to forgive me. I meant to hit a certain cowardly ex-prosecutor.
You weren't aiming for him! You were aiming straight at me!
Something keeps getting in my way. Something.
Yag!
Finally!
Right there.
Francisca.
So, what are you doing here, Mr. Ex-Prosecutor?
I still believe Kay to be innocent.
And we're supposed to care what you believe?
You no longer have the right to an opinion. I am Francisca Von Karma, and I have no intention of stopping here and now. But you chose to stop by giving up your badge, and so our game has already come to an end. My badge was an obstacle to proceeding along the road I've chosen. I haven't stopped, I've simply cleared the way ahead. And now I'm free to follow that road all the way to the truth. So don't you think for a second that my conviction has changed. I am every bit as dedicated as I ever was.
You seem to think you know what lies at the end of this road to the truth. In that case, I demand you show me. I'll explain my current theory first, and if your road fails to lead anywhere, my whip will happily guide it.
Well, at least Franny's buying us some time. Francisco's current theory.
The victim used her keycard and entered this chamber with her killer. She was then stabbed with a candelabrum by the culprit and subsequently died as a result. We know the identity of the murderer thanks to the letters she exchanged with the victim. And we know the location of the murder is here in the committee's trial chamber.
Excuse me.
The blood on the floor proves my theory. Game, set, and match, Miles Edgeworth. QED.
She seems pretty confident, huh? She doesn't lack the courage of her convictions, that's for certain. And I gotta say, I can dig that vibe. I can give her no hard feeling. Ow!
Pathetic. Well, Miles Edgeworth, do you think you can bring my case crashing down around my ears? If you really have found the road to the truth, perhaps you should be so kind to point me toward it. I'll be very happy to. Settle in, Francisca. I'm about to pave the road with incontrovertible evidence.
Hard words, man. These hard words.
Okay, now we present the elevator blood on the fifth statement. If I remember correctly,
Rubber band thing.
If I remember correctly, the blood discovered in this room was located at the foot of the Goddess of the Justice's statue. Murder under the gaze of the divine? A brazen act, even for a cold-blooded killer. Except that may not be true at all. Take a look at this if you would. It's a blood stain we discovered in the storeroom directly above the committee chamber. As you can see, the blood we found looks to have dripped through the room below. And the elevator dripped down from descends directly to the foot of the statue. Ah, you've noticed. Then you agree that the murder cannot in fact have happened in this room. I put it to you that the victim was killed in the room above, and only afterwards she moved down here. The Goddess of Justice did not witness a murder. She witnessed a killer trying to cover the tracks. Why is she smiling? Sorry, I was just thinking back to a very similar situation. Well done, Miles Edgeworth. You've proven yourself to be even more foolish than I thought.
Mr. Edgeworth is anything but a fool, sir, and you know it!
Yo! Have you forgotten the picture you just showed me? Or are you really that airheaded?
Excuse me. Sorry about that.
Even a cursory glance showed there was far more blood here in the committee chamber than upstairs.
Oh! Whipped and ignored it. Aye!
You're trying to tell me that all the blood dripped down from above, Miles Edgeworth? If it had, your storeroom stain would need to be 10 times as big. I'd say the murder happened down here. There's no way it could have happened anywhere else. Heh, as insightful as ever, Francisca, but you've played right into my hands. How so? You're correct. There's far less blood upstairs than one would expect. The question is, why? Well, for 7:45? Yeah, actually, you're right. It is very light out. The sun is still up. What the heck? Wow.
Guess California is just built differently, man.
A trifling detail in the face of my previous explanation. Alas, your explanation doesn't account for why there was blood in the storeroom in the first place. Surely you don't think some spatter managed to shoot itself all the way up there, do you?
Wow, like some crazy fountain of blood? No way!
That should be going down by now.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it is summer, I guess. So, you know. How recently was daylight savings? Ah, whatever. Anyways, now we gotta deal with this idiot here. Excuse me.
Whoa, like some crazy fountain of blood? No way!
Unless your side on is front faced. Blah, blah. No way indeed. It's completely impossible. So, how about this? What if this explains the difference in the amounts of blood observed? There is far more blood in the committee chamber than the storeroom above because the weapon was removed here. The victim died of 3 stab wounds, wounds that would have bled profusely. Exactly, as proven by the amount of blood we found on the floor of this room.
But that doesn't make any sense! Not if she was stabbed in the storeroom. You said there wasn't much blood at the— Ow!
Silence, you half-baked, harebrained rookie!
Hey! Harebrained is a little— Ow!
A stab wound bleeds heaviest when... A stab wound bleeds heaviest at one particular point in time. Oh, I know! When the weapon is removed, right? Precisely. I believe the body was brought down to the committee chamber with the candelabrum still in its chest. And then, when it was finally removed, it certainly created... It created a difference in the amount of blood we see between the 2 locations. But why? What was the killer trying to do? I imagine they were trying to give the impression the murder happened down here. As we know, Miss Ringa's keycard was used late last night. Judging by the time listed in the record, I'd hazard a guess that it was used by the killer when they entered the room to create their elaborate setup. But why would they have need to do all of this in the first place? Perhaps because a person with a face to hide would fear the storeroom being found in the investigation? If they were involved with the underground auction, they couldn't afford to have their dirty secret exposed. Underground auction? You should take a look at the storeroom for yourself. The items up there tell quite a story. One that should more than explain what was going on here late last night. It's almost endearing, Miles Edgeworth, how desperately you want to protect your friend. There's something just beneath the surface of this case. Something bigger than all of us. And Kay's only crime was to have the bad fortune to fall right into the middle of it. That's quite the hyperbolic claim, Miles Edgeworth. Hyperbolic? Me? Surely you're the one making a mountain of my perfectly reasonable molehill. You're working with Interpol on international cases, so why are you investigating a domestic murder? I'll tell you why. Because this case has something to do with the smuggling ring you've been chasing. You followed the trail of the items being smuggled by the ring, and they wound up here. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me that something I sense isn't related to any of this. I'm very happy to learn that giving up your badge didn't completely relieve you of your senses. Scruffy here told me about the circumstances that led up to that, by the way.
Sorry, sir. I thought it might help, you know?
You did the right thing, Detective. So, am I right, Francisca? Is this incident part of the broader case you're working on? Was the underground auction already on Interpol's radar? Wouldn't you like to know? But you don't need to, and so you won't. Then you knew, didn't you? That the auction was being held here in this chamber. Hey, y'all mind if I butt in for a second? Your victim over there, the lady in white. You! Hey, let a gal finish, will ya? You no good button pain in the you-know-what? Ow! Well, this leopard sure ain't changed his spots. Your testimony is not required, and neither is your presence. What do you mean? I'm a journalist. Ow! You're a liar is what you are. You lied under oath at one time.
Seems like Miss Von Karma's none too fond of Miss Hart, huh?
I don't think she's her biggest fan, no.
What's she called? Ringer, right? She was a member of this here committee? Well, she dressed exactly like the ringleader of that secret Ow! Stop it! Stop whipping me, dang it!
What is the meaning of this interruption? Miles Edgeworth, explain! Miss Hart here helped us describing how the auctioneer was dressed. And it seems they were wearing the exact same outfit as the victim, Miss Rosie Ringer. But that would mean that the victim was also the ringleader! No, how about we just come down, sir?
It seems I have some new information to consider.
It's true that I came here to investigate the underground auction and to arrest the head of its operations, the auctioneer. But if Miss Hart is to be believed, then the ringleader is already dead. I guess that means their journey here today was wasted. I suppose it does. Nonetheless, I, Franziska Von Karma, refuse to leave empty-handed. Time for a rematch, Miles Edgeworth. Fine by me. But you may find that your whip will go sorely underused this round. Fine, I accept your little explanation. That will make the storeroom the actual scene of the crime, yes? In which case, the murderer is someone connected to the auction. And if the photographer is to be believed, the victim was the auctioneer and the culprit was an attendee. The killer lay in wait for the victim in the storeroom, where the exchange of illicit goods was to take place. They then stabbed the victim in the chest with a piece of merchandise, the candelabrum. There. Does that about sum it up? Because I won't be accepting rebuttals. I'm afraid you might have to. There's a serious hole in your testimony. There is? I didn't spot any. A good thing you're the one in charge here, Mr. Edgeworth. All right then, time to fight back. You have to win this for us. And I will. Time to take Francisca's testimony to the task. Okay, wait. Astral, Peyton, and Matt, if you're here. After this cross-examination, oh boy. One of the biggest moments in the series. Let me just say now, after this cross-examination is like the big moment. So just buckle yourselves in, fellas. There's a very big moment after this. Okay, so first we press the fourth statement. Hang on, I'm gonna do a quick audio check as well. Audio good? Audio good? Hang on, I'm gonna do a quick audio check as well. Audio good? Okay, audio's good. So we press the fourth statement.
Hold it!
How exactly did they manage that, may I ask? Miss Hart was in the storeroom too, remember?
Objection!
Yes, hiding someplace. And if you've seen the storeroom yourself, you'll know that there are plenty of other places to hide as well. So you're saying the killer was hiding out of sight while they awaited the victim's arrival? I believe you can reasonably assume that the murder took place after the auction had concluded. After all, the victim was the auctioneer herself. She would surely need to be present through the proceedings. She thinks it happened afterward. Would you mind adding that statement to your testimony, Franziska? And then, we present Miss Hart's statement on the newly added statement.
Objection!
Hang on. Just before I proceed, Astral, Peyton, are you all here? I want to double check and make sure the whole gang's here for this next scene, because this next scene is big. Yes, okay, we got Peyton here. Is Astral here? It's okay if Matt's not here. He might be busy doing whatever. But Astral, are you here? Hang on. Hang on. Just gotta make sure that everyone is here, because I really, really want Astral here as well for this one. Alright. You know what? I'll take this chance to get some water. 1 second. If Astral's here, I'll just wait on him. Oh, I'm here. Get your water. Okay, that's good. It seems you're one step behind yet again, Francisca. How so? The auctioneer was not in fact the victim, and I can prove it. This is the statement Miss Hott gave us. Well, if she made it, it's not worth the air she used to say it. Ow! Now Francisca's having lines like these? Jeez!
I done told ya, I'm a journalist, dagnabbit, my word is ew!
Did I ask you to open your mouth?
Oh no!
Objection!
Calm down and just listen for a second, Francisca. Miss Hott witnessed at least some of the events surrounding the murder, and she confirmed the auction continued even after the murder had occurred.
You bet it did. Went right on like nothing happened at all.
How would that have been possible without an auctioneer him? It wouldn't. So you see, the victim couldn't have been the auctioneer. She was one of the attendees.
No!
As I've been saying since the start, there's no way Kay can be the murderer, because she had been pushed down the hatch by her assailant and knocked unconscious by that time. So then, who was the victim really? Right, well, if the auction carried on after the murder, the victim must not have been the auctioneer, but an attendee.
That's enough.
I know that sound all too well.
Order in the courtroom. All rise for the chairman.
Oh, there's no need for all that pomp and circumstance, Verity. Please, everyone, feel free to call me Celsius. Yes, that'll do nicely.
All right, Celsius, what are you doing here?
Oh, I just stopped to see how my boneheaded boy was getting along.
They say there are all sorts of families, but I'm not sure these are the two. They say there's all sorts of families, but I'm not sure that these two are what they meant.
I thought I might need to light a fire under this investigation, but it seems not. The suspect everyone's searching for, high and low, is right back here, where we started.
Men, detain the suspect immediately. Wait, Miss Faraday's innocent.
Shut your meddling mouth. You're becoming something of a problem, Miles, my boy. I thought I told you. The committee wants this matter cleaned up as soon as possible. It's a matter of trust. We can't have our organization be seen to drag its feet. It's bad for us, and it's bad for me too. Personally, sorry, it must be my age.
Your unlawful investigation ends here, and it will not be permitted to resume. In case you've forgotten, you're no longer a prosecutor. You have no authority here. And what's more, there's the matter of you aiding and abetting a suspect.
She's right, of course, as always. You really are a godsend, Verity.
Everything I do knowingly. If you wish to prosecute me for it, be my guest. But know this, we have uncovered a new suspect. This person here. Miss Faraday was attacked by this
You can stop right there, Mr. Edgeworth. The raincoat in your picture was discovered nearby a short while ago. The victim's blood was found on the hood, along with some cherry blossom petals.
Cherry blossom petals? Like the one on the roof?
Yes, they were stuck on the edges of the bloodstains, probably due to the blood being fresh at the time.
The results came back already, my boy, so there's no mistaking it. The person in the picture is the victim, Miss Rosie Ringer. What? No! This completely undermines our entire case! All of our assumptions were based on the person in the red raincoat being the killer. But if they were the victim instead, then Kay remains at the top of the suspects list!
Miss Faraday, you testified to having encountered a person in a red raincoat up on the roof, correct? Yes, I did. We now know that person was the murder victim, and you are the only person we know of who came into contact with her. Since one of you wound up dead, I think we all know how that encounter went.
No! Kay was attacked by that person! She is the victim here, not the aggressor!
As far as I recall, we have yet to see any evidence that proves she was attacked as you claim. And even if such proof existed, Miss Ringer could have simply been acting in self-defense.
Well, you can't just jump to conclusions like that! Kay is innocent!
But I'm not.
Kay?
I'm not innocent. I don't want to believe it, but I remembered something. Hearing about the raincoat brought it back. It's just a flash, but I remember what I saw now, right when it happened. The murderer, it's me. I remember looking down and the person in the red raincoat was on the ground. It was me, Mr. Edgeworth. It was me all along. I'm the murderer. The murderer.
No, you're not. You can't be.
Then what am I? Why do I have a memory like that? They were on the floor in front of me. There was a pool of blood. Why was I just standing there? Why didn't I do something? I know why. It's because I was the killer. This court recognizes the legitimacy of the accused memories.
What? But you said you didn't believe her like 5 minutes ago!
I commend you on your bravery, Miss Faraday. It will not go unrewarded. Praise be to the goddess of justice for her many blessings.
Objection!
As an official representative of Interpol, I hereby request the suspect be...
We don't have time for this. We must arrest Kay Faraday this instant.
How dare you take that tone with me? This is a gross overreach of authority. I demand you give us more time to investigate. You say my investigation is unlawful? What could be more unlawful than this?
Unfortunately, you no longer speak for the law.
Indeed you don't, but I do. And while I can't help but be moved by your dedication to your friend, I have to agree with Verity.
Speaking of the law, it seems there is one other we must arrest.
Ah, yes. I almost forgot. Miles. What are you talking about? Mr. Edgeworth is just doing his job. He didn't do anything wrong. He wasn't doing squat. By which I mean to say, unfortunately, Miles is no longer serving in any kind of official capacity.
You went too far this time, Mr. Edgeworth.
You conducted an unlawful investigation. Worse, you aided and abetted the flight of a suspect. You are no longer You are no longer even an ex-prosecutor. You're a criminal, nothing more. Oh, that reminds me. There was supposed to be a hearing today, correct? Concerning your conduct. I'll make sure it's officially rescheduled for tomorrow. Although, I fear I already know the outcome. Look at this as an opportunity to reflect on your actions, Miles. A chance to think really long and hard. This court is adjourned.
We lost? We lost? I'm just gonna come out and say it. Miles lost. We're fucked. They won. Now we are arrested. Now we and Kay are both in the custody. Oh, Astral, that wasn't the scene. This next scene, this is the scene. I'm gonna keep going. Astral, that wasn't the scene. But yeah, dude, look at this. We're fucked. We're fucked. We know that the second Kay is taken into custody, she's going to get silenced. Rose Ringer, the victim, she knew something, and the committee silenced her. And Kay, even though she has amnesia, she could get her memories back in a few days. And the committee, what are they going to do then? And now Miles is in the same exact spot. Now it's like, fuck, man. What do? We're fucked. We hit rock bottom here. We're fucked. There's nothing we can do. But this next scene right here, let me just start by saying, this next scene right here, remember how I said, yeah, it is. But also, remember I said there was two scenes. There were two scenes in this case that got me to cry. This next one was one of them. It's honestly, in my opinion, it is on par with Edgeworth seeing the truth about Manfred von Karma. It's on par of Edgeworth reuniting with Phoenix. This moment is one of the most emotional moments for Edgeworth. And honestly, I know people out there are going to disagree with me on this, but I think this is actually a key part of Miles's character as a whole. Remember, Kay is one of the few characters. Like, again, Miles Edgeworth doesn't usually get emotionally attached to anyone. The exceptions to this were Phoenix, Fender, and obviously Kay herself. But this scene right here, God, man. I actually got teary. I didn't full on cry. That was the later moment. Anyways, here we go, fellas. A huge moment right here. April 6th, detention center. Holding cell. Never thought I'd spend another night in here again. Audio check really quickly. Never thought I'd spend another night. And they stripped me of all the evidence we'd so painstakingly gathered. Even if they did let me keep Kay's Yatagarasu pin. I can't help but worry about her. They better be treating her well. The murderer, it was me. I remember looking down and the person in the red raincoat was on the ground. It was me, Mr. Edgeworth. It was me all along. I'm the murderer. I'm the murderer. Come on, let's go. You've got a visitor. A visitor? Who? Someone by the name of Dick Gumshoe. Want me to send him away? No. Though I'm not sure what to even say to him. April 6th, detention center. Visitor's room. Wait there. They're leaving me unsupervised. Forgive the intrusion. What? Judge Gavelle?
Please, Mr. Edgeworth, take a seat.
What are you doing here? I was told it was Detective Gumshoe.
I imagined you wouldn't come if you knew it was me.
What could she possibly want from me now? I suppose I better find out. Oh, wait till you hear this next part.
You may not be aware of this, but you are only permitted to meet with specially approved visitors.
What the fuck? How much does this committee want to cover up? That is so fucked up, dude.
So I'm to be treated like a dangerous criminal, am I? I suppose my reputation is rather plummeted.
It has indeed, for you of course, and your friends. That attorney and the other girl were raising quite the fuss earlier.
Fender and Emma?
I saw them launch some extremely heated words at one of the guards.
No, you didn't!
You may thank the goddess in that regard, for even she is too busy to deal with each and every infraction. They will not be punished for their bad behavior.
Did you come here just to chit-chat with me? You must have a lot of time on your hands.
Oh, speaking of which, Miss Von Karma is continuing the investigation where you left off. I just thought you'd like to know. I figured you'd be worried about how they were all doing.
I hate to admit it, but she read me like a book. Let's cut to the chase, Your Honor. Why are you really here?
I'm here simply to talk. Nothing more. There's something I wish to know about you.
Me?
Yes, who else? Objectively speaking, you are a highly intelligent and quick-witted person. A born prosecutor all through.
Please, Judge Gavelle, your sarcastic praise is but salt on my wounds.
But I sincerely mean every word, Mr. Edgeworth, which is why I fail to understand you. Take this latest case, for example. You were up against the very committee itself. You had no hope of succeeding. Even a child could have seen that, and yet...
I don't imagine the old me would have ever been so reckless. This right here is just bro, just let me just say right now, this speech right here Edgeworth gives, it moved me on my first watch. It's like, Edgeworth, keep in mind guys, Edgeworth here is at rock bottom. He's lost his job. Kay is without her memories. He and her could probably die. And if I was in this position, I would have broken down, dude. I wouldn't be able to contain myself. But god damn it, Edgeworth. Even in this position, he still won't break. He won't break, and he will still stand up for what's right, even when he has literally nothing. I don't imagine the old me would have ever been so reckless. The old me had power, and because of that, I thought that justice was always on my side. Just as you and the committee believe now. But a certain person changed my mind. He made me reckon with my selfish and skewed sense of justice. And once the scales had fallen from my eyes, I began to look at people differently. I saw that I was only able to be an effective prosecutor thanks to the efforts of those around me. Detective Gumshoe, the main investigative officers of the force, and even Kay. It changed me. The degree to which it changed me still surprises me to this day.
I see. Thank you. I feel that perhaps I understand you a little better now.
You understand me? I highly doubt it. Someone who is so focused on forcing their idea of justice onto others can't possibly see what I see.
Is that so? Is that what you truly believe? I will say one thing. This has been a very interesting conversation. That is all. Before before I go, there is one remaining matter. I was asked to inform you that the date of your hearing has been confirmed. It will be held today in the trial chamber. The committee sends its warmest regards.
If that was all you had to tell me, you could have just sent a message.
And entrust the goddess's words to another? That wouldn't do, now would it? Until then, Mr. Edgeworth, I'll see you again very shortly.
But God, bro, just Edgeworth, through all of that, standing up when he's hit rock bottom. Fuck, man. Especially with the context of the older games, that speech, generally, short as it was, it is very meaningful. Especially if you know how Edgeworth was in the first game. It's just such a confirmation of his character for me. April 6th, detention center, holding cell. Oh, we're not done with big moments, though. We're not done yet. And now, no music. We're just left alone. Left alone to silently contemplate before the committee silences us. And the truth is gone for good. So next First we examine the cell door. There's a poster in the corridor outside. We regret to announce that due to the warden's arrest, the Die of Destiny game will be discontinued. Inmates will no longer need to roll a die every morning to determine their meals for the day. We wholeheartedly apologize for those who were looking forward to the daily casting of the die. Did anyone really need an apology for the cessation of such a ridiculous idea in the first place? Then, we examine the vanity. There's a menu here on the table. It seems that detainees are able to pay to have their meals brought to the cells. What looks good: spaghetti and mac and cheese lunch, add linguine for only $1, basmati and brown rice special for a limited time, only add regular white rice at no extra cost. It's probably for the best that I'm not very hungry. I've barely spent any time in here and already I can feel my personal appearance slipping. I may have given up my badge, but I mustn't give up on myself. My collar, it's slightly creased. There. A tidy outside begets a tidy inside. Which is why it's more important now than ever to take care of myself. A very basic bed. I can't say it was very comfortable to sleep on, however. I imagine Detective Gumshoe would have slept soundly on it nevertheless, loudly snoring all the while. I suppose we'll probably never get to work together again. But I don't have any regrets about the bed I've made. I'll follow my own path to the end. Here's another big moment. Here's another really big moment. Do I have another visitor? Kay! Thank goodness you seem all right. That's a load off of my mind. Ah, such a heartwarming scene. It's enough to make a grown man cry.
But you're still... You have to stay positive, Kay. You didn't do anything wrong. In fact, I guarantee you didn't. No. You have to let it go. I'm the murderer. I know that now. But you're not! You can't be! Why don't you have any faith in yourself? How can I, Mr. Edgeworth, when there's no me left to believe in? Not at all. I don't think that's true. Before you lost your memory, you spent quite a bit of time together. And I dare say, you left quite the impression on me. So you see, there's still plenty of you left. That's why I believe so much in your innocence. And that's why you should believe in yourself too. Thank you. But I can't. I would just cause more pain for the both of us. Please, you have to forget her. Forget that Kay. She's gone. Kay, no!
You remind me of my younger self, you know. So noble, so bold. This is the justice you and the committee stand for? Justice? I suppose you could call it that.
What is he up to? Why is he going to such lengths to control everything? I can't shake the feeling there's something very wrong here. Is there some hidden agenda at play? This is no time to second guess myself. If I'm going to find out what it is, it's now or never!
Well then, my boy, I should be...
Wait! Gotta get some water first. Hang on.
Like, dude, look at this! Kay literally just told him to forget about her.
No, we are not letting that happening. Why is the chairman so intent on seeing Kay charged with this murder? And you know what? I already know this one by heart. I already know this logic chest by heart anyways. But hang on, I'm just gonna check the audio really quickly before I do this. This mind chest right here, man. Hang on, I'm just gonna check the audio. Okay, this mind chest right here, man. Why is the chairman so intent on seeing Kay charged with this murder? It doesn't make any sense. There must be some rhyme or reason to this madness.
Come now, Miles. I'm a busy and important man, you see. I can't be wasting my precious time talking to you.
The only way out of our current predicament is through Chairman Winner. There's so much to ask in so little time. Let's start by trying to find out why he rushed to have Kay arrested so quickly. I can't just let this happen. If I'm getting answers, I'm getting answers if it's the last thing I do. Mind chess, commence! Why were you so keen to push through Kay's arrest? I've yet to hear a satisfactory explanation.
An explanation? I'm not entirely sure what you mean.
Don't give me that! You know exactly what I mean!
Tut, tut. I'd advise you to moderate your tone, dear boy. Need I remind you of your position? And suppose we did let your friend go free. What then,
What do you mean, what then?
Think how that would look, my boy, and who would have to take the blame? Me, that's who. You're right to keep your mouth shut. That way, you won't say anything foolish.
Sorry, but I can't stay silent forever. Not while Kay's innocence is still in doubt.
Ah, you're breaking my heart. Just look at this flood of tears spilling out. Please, just leave it alone, will you? Things were coming along nicely until you interfered.
Coming along nicely? That's a pretty strange way of putting it. It's almost as if you wanted Kay's arrest to happen. It certainly doesn't sound like a statement of an impartial representative of the law. Fossilina, with all the fake tears. Oh. It also sounds like the Claw.
You think so? Well, that wasn't my intention. Has it occurred to you that you might just be overthinking things a little?
Chairman Winner certainly knows how to dodge a question. But it doesn't change the fact that serious doubts remaining... excuse me. But it doesn't change the fact that serious doubts remain concerning Kay's arrest. Next, we'll need to press him on whether he really believes the investigation was sufficient. We can't allow any of his
We can't allow any of his statements to go unexamined, no matter how trivial they may seem. One of them may just give us the breakthrough we need. How much time was spent on your investigation altogether?
Well now, let's see. You know what? I'm not entirely sure I can remember.
I'm sure you can. You won't bluster your way out of this one.
It's not bluster, my boy. Honestly, I don't recall. It's a problem when you get to be my age, you see. Why, I even forget my own son's name sometimes.
Never mind your fool of a son! Answer me! How long did you spend on this investigation?
You're right, of course. The boy's a fool. I never meant for him to grow up like that, but... Oh, woe is me.
He's only too happy to derail the conversation no matter where I take it. I have to force him to take this seriously. Let's try another tack for now. You can hardly say your investigation was sufficient. And you're the one who called all the shots, weren't you? Including the decision to have Kay arrested?
Oh, I'm afraid I'm nowhere near as I'm afraid I'm nowhere near as influential as that, my boy.
You're the chairman of the committee. It doesn't get much more influential than that. Not that I care about such things.
You wound me. It's enough to drive an old man to tears.
You'll have to forgive me. I'm not the differential type.
Well, if you're going to insist on being so blunt, then I'm afraid you won't be seeing your prosecutor's badge anytime soon.
I've got you. Wait, what?
What are you going on about all by your lonesome over there? You need to cut an old man like me some slack. I can't keep up with all that youthful energy.
That was wrong? Really? Curses! I should have picked my words more carefully. Not that much time lost, though. Okay, let's get back to where we were before. Let me make something clear once and for all. That badge isn't the be-all end-all for me. Far from it. I'm not concerned with titles or roles. Even you must understand that much.
So young. So very young. A word of advice, Miles, from someone who's been around the block. You're hopelessly naive, my boy. Idiotically so.
Well, that certainly got under his skin. He might be less God in his answers while he's in this state. Now's my chance. How much time was spent on your investigation altogether?
My, you really don't give up, do you? But even my patience has its limits, you know.
What a coincidence. So does mine. Now answer the question. Do you believe that your investigation was sufficient or not?
Ah, the youth these days. I want to be so reckless. Makes me want to put you in your place. You're going to regret that, my boy. Well, maybe you do know your place after all. What's the matter? Scared?
Hardly. I'm just thinking about how best to proceed. Getting answers from the elderly requires sensitivity. They can get quite emotional after all.
You have no common sense whatsoever, do you? Don't you understand? Your fate rests in my hands. Let's say you do manage to get some answers from me. There's nothing you can do with them. So why not give it up, dear boy?
No.
And why not?
It's simple. Because I'm not about to let the truth escape me.
Interesting. I think I'm beginning to see what makes you tick. But what you're doing is pointless. tragically and miserably pointless. Please, just give up. She's guilty. The decision has been made.
Once again, your choice of words intrigues me. It's almost as if Kay's guilt had already been determined before her arrest.
What are you trying to imply?
I'm implying that things haven't gone as they normally should. In fact, everything has proceeded as if Kay's arrest was the end goal, right from the very start. Well, Chairman Winner, was it?
That's certainly an intriguing theory. But it's also a complete work of fiction, and I'm afraid I don't have times.
Sorry, blah.
But it's a complete work of fiction, and I'm afraid I don't have time for such flights of fancy. I think it's time we brought this shabby little farce to an end, don't you?
What do you think? Hold on. Hold 1 second. No! He's trying to make his escape! We must confirm the legality of Kay's arrest before he slips away. Also, new theme here. It's faster, an Allegro version. It's faint, but the truth is finally beginning to emerge. And I'm not about to let this opportunity pass me by. Audio check. It's faint, but the truth is... Okay, good. Wait! We're not done yet!
I'm tired of all this talking, so make it brief, will you?
Who gave the order? Who decided that Kay should be arrested?
You know, I can't seem to remember. Don't ever get old, Miles, my boy. It wreaks havoc on the memory.
Okay, so that's not it. Wait, we're not... Okay. Based on everything I've heard from you so far, it's clear that Kay's arrest is entirely unfounded.
Yes, I think we're all familiar with this... Yes, I think we're all familiar with this particular refrain of yours by now. But I'm afraid it doesn't matter either way. You don't have what it takes to secure her release anyhow.
How dare you take this so lightly as a man of the law?
My, aren't you a rude little boy? But my fuse is only so long. Honestly speaking, I don't have the time to waste on every last question you can dream up. I have certain responsibilities to attend to, you know. I really am quite the busy man.
Or are you just pretending to be busy,
That's an awful thing to say to a fragile old man. I work harder than anyone should at my age. I ask you, my boy, what could I ever hope to accomplish by putting up such a pretense?
You obviously don't want to talk about the case anymore. That's why you're so keen to get out of this conversation, isn't it?
It's just so tragic. It really is, that you would suspect me of such things.
It's not a suspicion, it's a certainty. There were no clear grounds on which to base Kay's arrest for a start.
Now, my boy, let's not get carried away. There was plenty of evidence to support our case. The mask, the letter, the corsage, all those were in her possession. And of course, her confession. More than enough to prove her guilt, I'd say.
But those are...
What's the matter? Struggling to come up with a way to explain everything away? Well, there we have it. Your silence speaks volumes.
It's true I can't counter your argument right now. But you did let something valuable slip. A suspiciously detailed knowledge of the evidence against Kay. He rattled off that list like he knew it inside out. Quint the scarf to him. I think that might prove to be a very valuable clue. Wait! Okay, hang on. Who gave the order? Who decided that Kay should be arrested?
You know, I can't seem to remember. Don't ever get old, Miles, my boy. It wreaks havoc on the memory.
Time to deploy my clue. I'd appreciate it if you stopped playing the old man card. You remembered the details of the evidence against Kay pretty clearly. Perhaps if your memory didn't fail on you when it was convenient, I'd be more inclined to believe you. So, let me ask you again, who gave the order for Kay's arrest?
You're a sharp one, I'll give you that. My idiot son could learn a thing or two from you. If he wasn't such an incurable numbskull, that is. It's a tragedy, really.
I don't want to hear about your son. I want to know who authorized the arrest.
You're very mean. You know that, don't you? The arrest, you say? I believe the order was given by...
Come now, Chairman Winner. We both know it was you.
All right. You got me. You make it sound like it was somehow a bad thing, though. But I have a reputation to uphold. So I guess I better clear up this little misunderstanding. I'll entertain your questions for a few more minutes. Let's see if I can put your mind at ease.
The key thing to do now is to establish how intimately he knows the details of the case. I just have to ask the right questions. The end game is at hand. We're but a few moves away from the truth. The suspect's Kay Faraday. How much do you know about her exactly?
I know that she's the suspect. Aside from that, not much else. Cross my heart, but it's true.
Okay, now this one. You seem to know... You seem to know the case... The case, oh my god. You seem to know the detail... You seem to know the case in quite some detail.
I know lots of things, my boy. I'm just smart like that.
Too bad the same can't be said about the way you handled Kay's arrest. Missy.
I'm a very busy man. Do try to remember, I can bring this little chat to an end wherever I so choose.
It's only taking so long because you won't give me a straight answer to any of my questions. If only you'd stop giving me the runaround, we'd be done already. So let's try this again. You seem to know the details of the case quite intimately. Why is that?
Because I read the case file. Not exactly the most thrilling use of my time, of course, but it's part of the job.
Okay, sassy kitty. See ya!
I have to be a good role model. I can't be seen slacking. It can be so hard. But I had some time on my hands, so I read the whole thing from cover to cover.
That's strange. I could have sworn you just told me that you're a very busy man. A reaction. I'd say the cracks are finally starting to show, wouldn't you? If you're so keen on being an upstanding leader, you can start by releasing Kay, you know.
Yeah, you really don't give up, do you? It's a moving sight indeed, my boy. But a tragic one, too. After all, your efforts are for naught. I'm afraid your little friend was found unconscious near the scene of the crime.
We have yet to hear much about the circumstances under which Kay was found. She was lying unconscious in the storeroom, correct? Oh, another reaction! Another reaction.
That's right. Although, I'm not at liberty to tell you how I know that.
He knows things even we didn't. In fact, he seems to be aware of every tiny detail about this case. This could be a valuable clue. The suspect, Kay Faraday. How much do you know about her exactly?
I know she's the suspect. Aside from that, not much else. Cross my heart, but it's true.
Time to deploy my clue. Sorry, but the more you tell me, the less sense your story makes. For one thing, you know the details that even those investigating the scene weren't aware of. Why is that? Just how much do you really know of, Chairman Winner?
Oh, there's that intimidating face you like to make again. Well, two can play this game. How do you like me now? I do have to commend you on your doggedness. It really is something.
Heh, I'll take that as a compliment.
Take it however you like, but wrap this up, will you? I just don't have the stamina anymore. She's the culprit. The only possible suspect. Just accept that already. How much more evidence do you want us to load her down with, for goodness sake?
What? Load her down with? Yet another interesting turn of phrase. One that makes it sound like the items Kay was carrying may have been foisted upon her. Another reaction.
Impressive. You really do pay attention, don't you? It's no wonder they used to call you Prodigy, Mr. Ex-Prosecutor. I think you know the answer to your own question by now. Why don't you just go ahead and say it? I want to hear it from you.
It's finally time to shed light on the truth. All that's left is to play one last move. Kay is innocent.
No, my boy. That's just clumsy. Anyone can blurt out a baseless assertion like that. Even a disgraced superstar prosecutor.
Time to deploy my clue. Kay was framed. The true culprit set it all up so she would take the fall instead. Kay was framed. Sorry, doing one last audio check and catching my voice a bit. That is my answer, and I won't let you deny it any longer.
My. You really are a sharp one. It's a bit of a shame you choose to hand in your badge. I admit it. You're right on all accounts.
That's checkmate.
Mine chess.
Checkmate. You knew Kay wasn't the real murderer, and yet you still had her arrested. What's worse, you thought you could get away with it. Well, you won't. Not if I can help it.
There you go with that naivete again, my boy. I guess that always was your problem. With the girl arrested and a conviction secured, this whole mess goes away. And that's what will happen.
But whose interest does a conclusion like that serve?
The committee, suppose. And mine. You know, listening to you just now, well, it got the tears flowing, I have to say. It was poignant and heartfelt, sincere, and utterly infuriating. Look, I'm not perfect. I know that. But your lack of sophistication in these matters is beyond the pale. You insist the truth is more important than anything else. But would you say the same thing if you know what the real value of the truth is?
What are you trying to say?
When you get to my level, you don't uncover the truth. You make it, little by little. K. Faraday, murderer. That's the truth. The truth I created. Yes, my boy. That's what I like to see. You're so sincere sometimes. It's painful. It just makes me want to put you in your place. Knowing the real truth will get you nowhere. Because that's how much it's worth. Nothing. Shocking, I know.
But why not go after the real killer? How much do you even know about what really happened?
You're still not getting it. That's your truth. And it's worthless. Mine is the only one that matters. You understand what I'm saying, don't you, Mr. Ex-Prosecutor? I have all the power here.
Celsius, you! Curse you!
Well, aren't you menacing? You and your little friend are just as bad as each other. Violent criminals who deserve to be locked up.
You'll pay for this!
And with that, yet another person disappears from my life. Oh, it just makes me want to cry and cry and cry.
You motherfucker! You goddamn son of a bitch! I have no words! He admitted it! He admitted it because he knows he can get away with it. Excelsius literally just admitted in front of Edgeworth, who has nothing left, that he did it. And what's worse, tomorrow? Well, next time I stream, it's Judgment Day. I'm not planning to disappear just yet, Chairman Winner. There's still the hearing later today. Just you wait. One way or another, I'll prove Kay's innocence to the world then! Okay, but I am going to end the stream here. I hate to cliffhang you guys like this. I really do, but I want to save my voice. But tomorrow, tomorrow is the big one. The big one. But oh my god, dude. See what I mean? My question? Wait. Would call out Verity on being too fond soft on Peyton. We'll see. I could see that, but Peyton, I'll just ask you to wait just a little bit longer. I'll explain more about Verity in a bit, but tomorrow, guys, oh my gosh. Like, look at that! He just admitted it! He admitted it! Anyways, I'm looking forward to seeing y'all next time, and I'll see y'all then. Bye-bye!